everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cartographers. This is the real Seabass with you, bringing some premium crypto content. Thought I'd start this video off with a little bit of silly, funny goodness, because obviously we all need that in our life, especially today, looking at the prices of crypto markets. Currently sitting at about 120 billion, which is a drop from yesterday, but come on, what's new? That's sort of just the same old, same old. Currently, once again, the entire market, red, down, hurting. Factum is up 22%, and everything else bleeding hard. So, pretty rough day in the market. That's okay though. That's just kind of been crypto this year. If you're still involved in this market, you're still watching these videos, that means that you know that in the long run, it will eventually come back around. Taking a look though at the Bitcoin 4-hour chart. So you're going to notice we broke this level of the 3744, which is definitely pretty, that's pretty bearish. Unfortunately, that was what we were hoping would hold to keep this channel, but it did break, causing a lower low from the last 4 or 5 days here, actually more like a week. So now we're looking to test that 3568 like we talked about, potentially showing maybe what could be a double or a triple bottom, depending on how you look at it, which I do think we're going to get there, and I do feel like we might even break the 3568 point, because as you can see on the RSI here, we're making a series of lower highs after lower highs, so it's not looking good for the bulls, I will say that, especially with declining volume. As you can see here, it is something that, you know, I wouldn't be betting my money long in this market right now. And I know a lot of you guys are long, and a lot of you guys are accumulating, and that's totally fine. But if you're going to be trading these markets, you're probably better off going short, because as you can actually see right here, when we broke that 3744, we have tried to push back up through it, but we simply cannot seem to do this. So that is signifying weakness on the bulls, and I think it is just a matter of time before the bears swoop in and do what they do best. Flipping over here to a new one, we're going to be looking at XRP for the dollar on the daily time frame. So kind of wanted you guys to all get a perspective of XRP, because this is something that has been pretty popular lately. I wanted to break down kind of where our support zones are, resistance zones, just so we can kind of expect to see what is going to happen in the future, and kind of break down some of the scenarios that I believe could happen with Ripple XRP. So, we have a primary or a major support zone. This was at one point a pretty major resistance. This is right around the 27 to 24 cent level. So, since our previous highs, we've come back down. We've tested it not once, not twice, had a bullish reaction. But as you can see, we're stuck in this channel, which is going to be a bearish channel, so that is something to be very aware of. We've tested that top of that bearish channel once, twice, and now we're making our way down. So I've outlined a couple of scenarios that could potentially happen here with XRP, where we could see ourselves bounce off of this this current support, the red bar that I have drawn here, which then, if we meet the top of the channel, we have two options, of course. We bounce off of that channel, go back down, maybe hit the support again, and then try to re-break it. Or we break through this channel and we go bullish, which, if we go bullish, the amount of excitement behind XRP in the last few weeks, last month, has been absolutely crazy. If you look all over Twitter, you look all over YouTube, there are a ton of XRP bag holders that are just so ecstatic about their project, which, hey, at the end of the day, all it comes down to is marketing, the excitement of the holders, and sometimes that's enough to push up a price, especially in crypto, where it's a relatively low liquidity market. My other scenario, though, would us be breaking through this resistance zone, or this support zone, I should say, which would be bearish. I think our next stop after that would be the 15 cent level, which provided a pretty major support back in 2017, which, if we find support on this zone, then we could bounce back up, test the top of that channel, which I believe would happen somewhere around the 24-cent range, which would coincide, and we would find some confluence with our previous support turned resistance. So I think this could bounce, maybe bounce at this range. Again, if we break through with volume, great, we're bullish, we're doing fantastic. However, if that holds and the whole market continues to stay bearish at the turn of next year, then we could see XRP be needing to test this 15-cent range, which was the major support level again from last year. So you can see here by my diagram that, well, see, we would be testing at about 15 cents. That would give us a pretty short run up to the descending channel that we have going here, which, again, one or two options. We could potentially break bullish and break through that, and again, we would need volume to see that. We would need to see a better sentiment in the market, because I don't care how bullish the community is, we do need to have the overall crypto market be bullish and have money be flowing into the market for XRP to really take off like it did on the last couple of bull runs. So if we don't hold, or I'm sorry, if we don't break through this channel, then if we test this 14-cent level, our next support is going to be way down at 6 cents, which would have been the previous resistance back in April of 2017. So obviously XRP fans are going to be hating me for saying this, but I'm sorry. This is just the technicals. This is just what it is on the charts. Of course, there's a lot of developments with XRP, Ripple, Rapid, where they are actually starting to branch out. R3's new Corda app supports payments in XRP cryptocurrency. So that's huge, not just for XRP, but for the whole crypto space. So going through this article here, it's basically talking about how XRP is going to be the primary settlement option for this app, which is huge. Now, with XRP, everyone talks about how XRP is going to overtake Bitcoin, how it's better than Bitcoin. And, you know, there's a couple of differences that, you know, we want to kind of highlight between the two of them. XRP is extremely fast. It can process up to, I believe it's 1,000 transactions per second compared to Bitcoin's 6 or 7 transactions per second. So that's incredibly quick. It also does not require mining fees. So what XRP does, instead of having a mining fee like Bitcoin, it actually just burns a very small amount of the tokens, which is great because back when the bull run was at the height, Bitcoin was costing something like $50 a transaction, which was absolutely insane. That totally takes away from what Bitcoin is meant to be as a cheap, reliable, easy method to transact large amounts of money. So that's a huge plus in XRP's favor. Now, the downside to XRP is all of the tokens are actually pre-mined, which this is why many people are believing it to be a security, because XRP is actually owned by the company Ripple. It's a very relatively centralized cryptocurrency when you compare it to something like Bitcoin, where anybody around the world can mine Bitcoin. XRP, you have to be a verified node, which I believe there's only about 9 nodes out there that are allowed to mine this currency. So, you know, it's something that it's not quite the same as a Bitcoin. It's not quite the same idea as a cryptocurrency. So because of this, people believe that this is a security because it's almost like you're buying stock in a company. Whether you like XRP, whether you don't like XRP, it is something that is being recognized by banks, by Wall Street. This is something that could be very big for cryptocurrency in general to see some sort of adoption. So while there's people fighting about Bitcoin and XRP and this and that, you know, it's silly. We shouldn't be fighting over what cryptocurrency is better. We should just simply all be aiming for a general adoption, because once one crypto gets adopted, then it's going to be something that the public sees as safe, it's okay, and they will feel good about putting their money into the cryptocurrency space. Well, that's all I got for you guys. XRP fans, please don't kill me. I know that I said some bearish stuff on this, but I also said some bullish stuff, so you gotta give me credit for that. Go ahead and drop a like, give us a subscribe. We really appreciate if you share this with a friend, and just let us know if you have any ideas or topics that you want us to cover. Alrighty everyone, until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. This is Crypto Cartographers signing out.